Plant when she receives a message she didn't anticipate. It's a video of the Robots-A.I, which represents study breakdown reconstruct, having an issue at the Harbinger-I preparing office. She tells her supervisor that 1.5 million reprogrammings have been finished in under a day, which has never been finished. Her supervisor well done her for work. Then, at that point, at an army installation, Chief Damien Bukes requests one from his fighters, Vagabond, for a report. He lets him know that they are being sent on a preparation exercise, and that the weather conditions is horrendous. Bukes could do without this news, so when he sees Factories sitting alone, he goes up to the warrior responsible for sending them out and asks what's happening, since his group has been on preparing the last multiple times. He is informed that the preparation will just most recent 2 days, and that they are searching for Marines with battle insight, yet there aren't some left. Before Bukes leaves, he hears that Plants has been placed responsible for being his expert. She follows Bukes outside to present herself and say that she is from Harbinger and will be watching the hardware on the preparation field. Bukes requests that she watch out for them. Furthermore, she lets him know that she wants to watch the two of them and the equipment. This makes Bukes imagine that she is attempting to sort out where she can set aside cash. She says that this isn't what her organization does on the grounds that they offer to the military, however, are not piece of the military. Bukes stops her and advises all her upper be abandoned. He additionally requests that she switch off her eye scanner on the grounds that he would rather not be examined. Factories lets him know that it doesn't. However, work. Plants meets Stray, Sergeant Rory Robinson, Corporal Robert Cutbill, Spear, Corporal Martin Goodwin, Corporal Daniela Hackett, and Corporal Sam Loftus when he gets on the plane. Factories looks into the team by examining them and paying attention to what they share with one another. Obviously they are extremely dear companions. The plane takes off, and during the flight, the team rests or does crossword riddles to keep themselves occupied. She additionally figures out that Bukes has killed 18 individuals, and that Robinson has innovation put at him. Robinson focuses his rifle at her and tells her he sees her. Processes just inclines in a bit and takes a gander at the firearm to incapacitate it, which is all she really wants to do to get into any machine. She lets him know that she might fire it from a distance while he really looks at the chamber. As the unit draws nearer to the objective, Bukes gives them fundamental directions. Furthermore, advises them that the ammo is genuine and that they are being watched. Plants finds out she can't utilize the worldwide organization any longer, so she needs to change to the nearby one. Robinson tells Bukes that she has instruments like the ones on his eyes, yet Bukes lets him know that his try not to arrive at his mind. The plane grounds before a more established building, and when the PC in the lock perceives Bukes, the entryway opens. As Bukes strolls in, he sees that no other person is there, despite the fact that the PC has turned on the lights and played a welcome message again and again. The troopers who are positioned outside have additionally seen this. Furthermore, they don't have the foggiest idea who is watching them. Factories utilizes the opportunity to ask Bukes, assuming that he has any ground backing or surveillance, and Bukes lets him know that he doesn't. When Bukes returns, he advises them to get rolling. Factories imagines that they had a terrible beginning, however he doesn't concur with that. After the plane removes, the team ridicules each other as they walk through the structure. At the point when they at last leave the structure, they regard themselves as in the center of a backwoods. Bukes tells Cutbill to send up a robot, and afterward he reminds everybody that since they are participating in a preparation workout, they shouldn't let their monitor down. When the robot is prepared to fly, everybody gets up and fans out across the backwoods. Plants follows behind them since she sees an obscure robot among the trees. They find the spot rapidly, and when they do, they move to take their places. Vagabond follows processes and requests that she assist him with his chief. They don't need to search for a really long time to track down the spot. At the point when 3 puzzling reconnaissance drones appear and gaze at them, they have to quiet down. Vagabond is going to take shots at them when Plants stops him. It seems to be she is attempting to get to them. Wanderer lets his partners know what occurred, and Hackett tells them that she has additionally tracked down them. Plants tells Wanderer Harbinger that he made these new toys, yet that they have been changed in a manner that has to do with quantum mechanics, so they don't have administrators. Bukes has additionally tracked down these robots, however he tells everybody to leave after Vagabond expresses that essentially they know they're there. Following a couple of moments, their training targets at long last appear. They are extremely basic robots. Plants is given the opportunity to follow Vagabond again subsequent to taking one final glance at the novel robot. After Bukes has made an assault arrangement and every other person has moved to their positions, Factories is given the opportunity to follow Stray once more. They start their assault with projectiles, rockets, and bombs. After a commencement, which is simple for warriors like them who have done it previously, Plants chooses to follow one of the bizarre robots more profound into the Timberland, where she tracks down an S of R, which is a further developed unit than the others. She isn't astonished when she sees it, yet. She is astonished when it pivots and its head is canvassed in blood. She is moreover baffled by the way that she can't get to it. She had the option to watch and download some recording from the robot that showed it shooting individuals in the face while it was working. She shuts her eyes to attempt to sort out what simply occurred, yet when she opens them once more, the S of R is mysteriously gone. At that exact second, they receive a message from their commander saying that the day is finished and that they worked effectively. Soon thereafter, the bunch has camped out and discussing occurred in the fight, yet processes is sitting alone. The others ridicule Stray since he can't resist the urge to watch her, and they bring up that she's not even human. Likewise, they discuss how basic and low-tech their objectives were. Stray comes by Plant's home to perceive how she is doing while she is observing the motion pictures she has gathered. At the point when he plunks down close to her and asks where she was previously, she simply says that she needed to glance around. He additionally gets some information about how they can talk, yet she actually can't contact them. She needs to know why Bukes doesn't simply converse with him. Stray says that Bukes may very dislike her, which Factories finds miserable on the grounds that Bukes has killed previously. Yet, Vagabond says that these numbers are useless without setting, which is the reason Bukes doesn't need to like her. Vagabond gets some information about the mishap that caused her chip. It worked out at the point when she was 11 years of age, and in the event that it hadn't been for the chip, she would have been deadened. Harbinger paid for and dealt with every last bit of it. Inevitably, Vagabond chooses to return to camp. At the point when he arrives, he finds Bukes checking Factories out. He inquires as to whether she's said anything, and he says that she just said she's been cut off and doesn't have any idea why. Bukes disagrees with her. He believes that Plant's preparation and Vagabond's confidence in her are both wrong. As everybody prepares for the evening, Plant sees various robots in the Timberland. At the point when she falls asleep, the unusual SAR film returns to her eyes. Loftus, who is up late to keep watch, is moved toward by one of the robots. He advises it to move, and it does. Be that as it may, he hears a clamor, and when he turns upward with the light from his gun, he sees the S of R pursuing him. Loftus begins taking shots at it, however the scene out of nowhere hops back to the camp, where Plants awakens to the sound of everybody discussing the bizarre shots. The group begins searching for Loftus in the woodland after Goodwin tells Bukes that he saw Loftus up there, yet that he was gone in a moment. Promptly in the first part of the day of the second day, they track down their most memorable hint: blood on the grass. From that point, it doesn't take long for them to find Loftus's dead body, which has been tossed against a tree. When Cutbill sees his companion in this state, he blows a gasket and needs to leave, yet his bosses tell him to hush up while they all prepare for a potential assault. As a robot draws nearer to watch them, Hackett is shot and killed. Factories lets the others know that they are standing where their objectives were yesterday. At the point when a gathering of robots comes to where the unit was the other day, Bukes advises them to take off, and they do as such while taking cover behind trees. He takes out a couple of smoke explosives, which Wanderer tosses to cause a cloudy situation. As the troop moves, fighters and robots begin taking shots at one another. Bukes draws nearer to the robots, however when they see him, they take off. Cutbill, who was isolated from his group while on the run, is frantically attempting to reach them. After a couple of robots examine Cutbill, a S of R shows up and kills him. Vagabond asked Bukes what he saw when they got back to the base. He says the robots he saw today are further developed than the ones he saw yesterday and have superb covering, since they had the option to endure his shot. Robots are additionally more brilliant. In the wake of losing such countless men, he is enraged with Factories and orders her to let him know all that and handicap those robots. Plants says she can see them yet can't turn them off because of a programming blunder, and she is examining. Wanda regards Bukes, saying she's uninformed and the software engineer's issue. Bukes differs, botches are wasteful. Robinson returns subsequent to tracking down Just Cutbill's cap. Hence, the gathering proceeds with their inquiry. Wanderer tells Bukes plants that she can see things they can't while going through the woods. Wanderer says it doesn't make any difference since they need all the assist they with Canning get. What's more, Bukes calls attention to that assuming she sees them, they see her in the group. Stray says they need assistance now. Bukes can't quit pondering the assault and asks why the robots let them go. He thinks Factories was there. She shows them numerous dead creatures in the backwoods. Like Loftus, the robots seem to have involved them as targets. Processes unexpectedly declares they are being followed from the edge, and more robots show up. They fire right away, so the group escapes as quick as possible. Factories is going to be shot when Bukes pushes her and hauls her down. They roll away from the gathering and Independent. A tree takes Factories out. Good win. Also, Robinson should proceed with their excursion since Stray can't contact them. Evening. Bukes returns plants to the office entrance, where he can contact Stray. At the point when Stray recommends they go to Bukes, Bukes advises them to remain where they are on the grounds that it's excessively dull, and the robots could track down them. He recommends they rearrange in the first part of the day. A robot flies over Bukes later. A couple of hours. The boat rapidly takes off, yet the chief gets plants and takes cover behind the wall as of S.of.R. draws near. The robot powers Factories to open her eyes to interface prior to leaving. She gets up to morning. She inquires as to why he didn't leave her after he tells her she's been no more for 9 hours. Factories says they need to track down that robot after Bukes says he doesn't have the foggiest idea. Prior to educating her regarding the prior night, she can't clear up why for Bukes. Bukes gives her an errand to take care of the issue prior to telling her they're going. They rejoin the 3XS officers. Stray cases they were wherever the prior night, so they couldn't be followed. Factories affirms that the street is clear and all signs are behind them. They choose to get back to the sloping edge and anticipate transport. Since no one but plants can open the entryway, Bukes will go with her, and the others will take cover behind them. The street is clear, so they can arrive at the front entryway. When Bukes attempts to enter, the lock's PC doesn't perceive him, setting off the observation drones. Smoke explosives are terminated as Factories hacks the entryway open. Bukes can't see the robots duplicating them. The officers move promptly on the grounds that the robots have showed up and begun taking shots at them. Vagabond is shot in the leg not long previously. Factories opens the entryway. Bukes chooses to assist the warriors with hiding from the weighty fire. As they begin moving once more, everybody snatches each other for help, yet Stray flames shots to allow them an opportunity to get away. After another projectile, the S.of.R. tracks down him and holds him. Bukes gets back to safeguard him after realizing this. Factories follows them. When she shows up, the robots quit shooting. She neglects to deactivate them, so the S.of.R. parts Wanderer. Factories orders the warriors not to shoot since she is as yet deactivating the units. Bukes shoots Vagabond to keep the S.of.R. from tormenting and killing him, since she's not gaining any headway. Plants cries as Bukes maneuvers her into the office. Plants hollers at Bukes inside the structure for his activities, and Bukes safeguards himself. She accepts she might have saved Wanderer in light of the fact that she made these robots. Since this is unreasonable, the officers are pointing their weapons at her and requesting replies. Plants claims she has no clue about why the Marines are here, just that they were mentioned. She compassed a program and planned the models. However, the codes have progressed past assumptions. She wants to control it by understanding it. However, Bukes says it's past the point of no return. At the point when asked what they are, Plants says they are their substitutions. Machines assuming control over the jobs of human fighters to save lives. They can work unlike individuals. Bucks claims that her activities killed his men, which different fighters object to. Plants leaves crying. The robots are moving toward the principal entryway, so they need a superior guarded position. Factories opens the workforce region entryway and turns on the lights to see as a whole unit of S.of.R. models. Factories should open another entryway after Bukes cautions her not to turn them on. They track down all office representatives dead inside. Plants should interface with the nearby framework through a screen, however she can't speak with the rest of the world. Bukes lets them know they're in a bottleneck and can slow the robots. Factories leaves the room as the troopers are setting up charges and locks the way to keep them out. She controls up a SFR unit. They are connected, so when one awakens, it will know all that the others know. She assumes she can contact them by beating this. After Plants initiates its discourse program, the robot starts answering her inquiries. Plants attempts to drop the human battle program. In any case, it's arranged to proceed. It tells her that a human blunder keeps it from consenting. Also, that they need new persuaded targets on the grounds that the preparation subjects aren't performing great. Factories presumes that the gatekeeper SFR brought the Marines here in light of the fact that the robot perceives her and her absence of freedom. At the point when she asks, the robot says it can't say while preparing will end. Plants won't open the entryway since she needs to attempt once more. She comes up short, and the gatekeeper SFR enacts the leftover robots as the external robots at last break in. Later, being encircled, Robinson opens the entryway and pulls Plants inside prior to shutting it. Different individuals seek after Plants. The robots quickly cut this one and the other. Bukes wraps up charging the bottleneck room as the gathering returns. They scarcely get away from before the bomb detonates, harming them. The robots have attacked. At the point when the robots are crippled, an electromagnetic aggravation strikes processes once more, uncovering that they are conveying EMP projectiles. They make it outside and track down deserted structures, gym equipment, and more bodies. Plants takes an EMP projectile from a fallen robot in a passage while different troopers look at the remains. From that point onward, she watches her partner's demises while the men partition ammo and plan for an attack. She cries, however turns out to still up in the air to utilize the explosive bicycle finds the projectile while really taking a look at the factories while hanging tight for the robots. Plants says it ought to deactivate the SFR, however needs a detonator and has a short reach, raising a ruckus around town of our chief. Ought to shut down all units. She likewise says that the robots purposefully push them there for training and that the EMP is the one in particular who can stop them. Another explanation they've made do. Regardless of Bukes' advance notice that the blast could kill or distort her, Plants trusts it's their main choice. The robots show up toward the beginning of the day subsequent to standing by throughout the evening. Robinson should attract them as the sharpshooter in light of the fact that Goodwin has the detonators and must remain stowed away. Robinson and Burks battle the units as they enter the city while Plants filters the region to tell Goodwin when to explode the bombs they've stowed away. Bombs obliterate a large number robots. After Goodwin actuates another bomb, the robots track down factories, driving him out his doled-out spot. Robinson safeguards Burks as he hurries to help Goodwin from a SFR. Robinson passes on safeguarding Burks, and many Goodwin catches him. After they stop, Goodwin says he dropped the detonator, so Bukes goes out under weighty fire to get it, just to track down Plants. As of now they're getting it as the robots approach. She disregards Bukes' admonition to keep away from the EMP. After the SFR orders one of the more modest units to shoot factories, Bukes gets her and allows her to explode the EMP projectile. From the start, every one of the robots have fueled down and Plants is going to. Bukes hauls processes from the SAR after it awakens and pursues them. Factories slithers into Robinson's body's room, while Bukes shoots the robot on the steps. In the wake of tossing Bukes inside, the robot asks the SFR to complete him, yet it has orders to follow and needs more information to complete the program. Rather than pursuing Robinson,